Today we are going to see about body movement part 1. Before entering into the lesson, I just want to make sure that whether you have the proper knowledge on what is movement. See, we have so many organs like hand, leg, head. So each and every organ is performing particular function. When a ball is rolling on the ground and if you ask to take the ball, you will run and take, right? So at that time while you are running, your legs are working. While you are taking the ball, your hands are working. When I am asking certain thing whether you got the point, you are simply nodding your head. So at that time your neck is working, right? Some internal organs inside our body is working so that the external organ are doing its function. So what is movement means? Simply you can give definition like this. The act of changing the position of an organ in our body, that organ may be the leg or hand or head or any other thing. So to perform a particular function, any organ in our body is changing its position. So that act of changing the position is called the movement. Now through this video we are going to see about what are the internal organs are involved in doing the process of movement and what is the role of joint in doing that function. What are the important bones which are located in our body and where it is located. What are the main mechanism involved in the process of movement. Outcome of this video. After seeing this video, you will have a clear idea on what are joints and what are the different types of joints. To all the joints are working in the same manner, and apart from doing the function of movement, what else the bone is doing for our body. So these things you will have a clear idea. So let us enter into the topic. Look at these pictures. These are bony structure of certain animals. It is the bone of a fish. So here it has small and flexible bones. As it has small and flexible bones, it easily swims in the water by twisting its body. This picture shows a part of bird's bone, and this bone is having lots of air cavity, helps the bird to fly high in the sky. Here you can see the arms of the mammal is very strong and it has heavy bone. So this heavy bone helps the organism to carry that heavy weight. Okay. What are joints? Joints are nothing but the point at which one bone meet the other bone. So here you can see a long bone in our body, that is the thigh bone. The thigh bone is connected to the lower leg bone at the point of knee. This is a joint. So the joint is nothing but the place at which one bone gets connected with the other bone. So next we are going to see about what are tendons. Tendons are nothing but a band of tough connective tissue that will be fibrous in nature and they connect one bone with the other bone. Now we are going to see about what are ligaments. Ligaments are also band of tough elastic tissue but they connect muscles with the bone. What are the four important types of joints which are present in human body? The first type of joint is ball and socket joint. So this ball and socket joint is located at the top of our hand by means of this kind of joint. So here the top of upper hand bone will have a ball-like structure. The tip of shoulder plate or the shoulder bone will have a socket-like structure. So it means a concave bowl-like structure. So inside that this ball will go and inserted and the connection will be possible only by means of ligaments and tendons. Okay. So after getting connected, a free movement of hand is possible only because of this ball and socket movement. So this is the kind of joint that facilitate maximum angle of movement in our body. What is pivotal joint? Pivotal joint is nothing but the joint that allows rotatory movement around a single axis. That single axis is formed by the another bone as a concave circular ring. So inside that ring only, that first bone will rotate. So the adjoining ligaments will help them to move. Okay. So here the neck bone is the best example for pivotal joint. So because of this pivotal joint only, we are nodding the head. So bending like this. So front and back side bending and turning towards left and right, everything is possible only because of this rotatory movement of the neck bone. What is hinge joint? Hinge joint is a type of joint that allows motion only in one plane. So look at this particular hand movement. So here the hinge joint, the example for the place in human body where the hinge joint we can see is this elbow joint and the knee joint. So when you see the elbow, it is possible to fold the hand forward only, not at the backward, right? Likewise, when you put nail down, you can bend or fold the leg just in a backward manner and not towards the forward manner. The fixed joint. Fixed joint is nothing but the fibrous joint that do not move but it allows slight movement. See, when born baby born, you can see many fragments of bones will be there in the head, and all those bones in due course of time these pieces of bones will get joined, and those fibrous joints help to connect the small bones to make it as a hard single disc like structure, that is skull, that protects the internal main vital organ, that is called brain. So, skull is the main example of fixed joint that allows only the lower jaw in human being to move left to right, each and every joint in detail. Look at here, the shoulder joint they have shown through this picture. So here, the head of this upper hand is having a ball-like structure. It gets inserted into the socket of this shoulder bone and it rotates all over, right? So the maximum movement of hand and leg is possible only because of this kind of joint. Now we are going to see about pivotal joint. Pivotal joint is nothing but it allows the rotatory movement around a single axis, right? So here you can see the head rotates around the single axis. Hinge joint. Here this illustration gives the enlarged view of this particular knee bone. So it allows the movement only towards one plane. It moves backward and not towards forward. Okay, so this forward movement is not possible in the leg. Only the backward fold is possible. It's one fixed joint. Here the small bones are getting connected by fibrous joints that makes it into a compact hard disc-like structure, so that we call it a skull. So skull is the best example for fixed joint. What is skeleton? Skeleton is nothing but the main framework that gives structure to all organisms. It is made up of multiple number of bones and small corpuscles, cartilage, everything are the units of skeleton. So skeleton is the framework of each and every organisms that give the shape to the particular organism. So what is cartilage? Cartilage is nothing but the tough tissue that you can feel in your earlobe. So at the top of your earlobe, if you try to twist your earlobe, you can feel a tough tissue at the top. It will not be as hard as that of the bone or as soft as that of the muscle. What are carpals? Carpals are nothing but the tiny bones which are present in the fingers and toes. So here each and every fingers are having small bones, and all those bones are connected together and it joins the palm, right? So these fragments of bones which are found in each and every finger, the tiny bones, we call it as carpal. Now we are going to see about the different important bony structure which are present in the human body. The first part we are going to see is rib cage. Rib cage, we used to tell it as chest bones. Okay, so the chest bone is looking like a cage because it is having rings of bone. So inside that you can see a cavity. In that cavity some vital organs are present. So the front chest bone is getting connected to the backbone by rings of bones on either side. So 12 pairs of bones are present on left side and right side. The next bone, that is backbone. Backbone extends just below the brain until at the back of this pelvic bone. Okay, so this backbone is made up of small pieces of bone. So each and every pieces of this backbone, we call it as vertebrae. So the vertebrae are being connected by some connective tissue that connects each and every vertebrae is gliding joint. Okay, so each and every vertebrae glides one above the another. So there is the possibility of stretching or bending. Movement of the body is possible only because of this gliding joint. So the spinal cord which extends from this brain is being protected by the vertebral column, that is the backbone. Okay, you can see an inverted triangular structure of bone on either side of his shoulder at the back. So that is called shoulder bone. It is getting connected to the front part by shoulder plate will be there. So shoulder plate and the shoulder bone will get connected and it form a hard bony structure on the shoulder. The shoulder bone is mainly responsible for the movement of hand. Now we are going to see about the last bone, that is pelvic bone. Pelvic bone is the bone that is located next to stomach on the lower side. So it is the main bone on which we sit, and here internal organs which are present inside this pelvic bone are important vital organs like kidneys and genital organs are present inside it. And here also the thigh bone is getting connected on either side. So it is facilitating the function of movement of leg, and also it gives protection to the genital organs as well as for kidneys. Now you are having a clear idea on rib cage, backbone, shoulder bone and pelvic bone, and where it is located, what are all its main functions. What are muscles? Very soft tissues which are working with the bone to perform the function of movement. So the process involved in movement of an organ in a body is only because of contraction and relaxation of this muscle. Here we are taking the hand muscle as an example. The shoulder bone is here. So the hands are moving like this. Here the outer bone we call it as bicep. The inner bone or the lower bone we call it as tricep. When the bicep becomes shorter, stiff and thicker, when it contracts, this tricep will become longer, soft and thinner. When we put down the hand, this bicep will relax and this tricep will get contracted, and that time that tricep will get shorter, stiff and thicker. Okay, so this alternative contraction and relaxation movement of this bicep and tricep makes the hand to move in a proper way. A quick recap of this session. Now, organs involved in movements are mainly bones and muscles. What are the different types of joints which are present in our human body? Ball and socket joint, pivotal joint, hinge joint, and fixed joint. And different kinds of bones are rib cage, backbone, shoulder bone, and the last one is pelvic bone. What are its role? Apart from facilitating the movement, each and every main bones are giving protection to the internal vital organ. Now, what are tendons and what are ligaments? Tendons are nothing but the tough band of connective tissue that connect one bone with the other bone. Ligaments are nothing but the tough band of elastic connective tissue that connects muscles with the bone. I think you got a clear idea on how the movements are happening in our human body. In the next video, we will see about what is locomotion, how the whole organism moves from one place to another place under the head of gait. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.